What an amazing panel. I was like so inspired. Now, this is the boot camp time. That means you get to learn. So just know that this one is where you are actually going from level 0 to level 3.0 from a growth perspective and the expertise perspective. I want to actually invite Christine Puccio. She is my, I would say, strategic advisor, a friend who has taught me a lot in this space. I call her, she's legendary in this work that she does with the marketplaces. And she has shaped a lot of cool things for entrepreneurs of how they need to actually get to the marketplace and make that as a new sales route to market. So Christine, I would love to have you on the stage with me and we can have a wonderful conversation. Come on over.
I'm here. Hi.
Hello, you look amazing. So happy to have you here.
Thank you. I love that introduction. Thank you.
You are legendary. So so Christine, why don't you start with kind of introducing yourself and what inspires you?
So, okay, so my name is Christine Puccio. I just recently moved over to JFrog, which is a software company in the DevOps space. I feel like I'm home. I've always been in this DevOps type of software community. Started in, high tech back when I worked for Pacific Bell Internet Services all the way through Sun Microsystems, found my way to Red Hat for a very long time. And then through acquisition, F5, and now I'm at JFrog. I would say the past 6 years I have been in cloud computing, and I've always been really in the go-to-market side with technology partners, and I've really enjoyed that aspect. I've been in sales, inside sales, and all that, but I just absolutely love working on alliances and working with partnerships.
Fantastic, Christine. And what inspires you?
Let's see what inspires me. I really, you actually know the answer to this. I love to think big. I really believe that any project that I'm on, it's a canvas, and you really can do whatever you want with the canvas and be kind of your own artist. So thinking bold, making bold moves, and encouraging others, such as my team and across the organization, to think just as bold.
Oh, so well said, Christine. You're like perfect for this bootcamp conversation. So this particular topic, we are talking about leading co-sell product strategies, launch strategy with hyperscalers. And I have seen Christine take from a co-sell solution to becoming like the solution in the industry. So we get to learn about co-sell product launches. Nobody talks about it, but it's a great way for your brand to get in front of new audiences, but they can be tricky. So what we are going to learn from her is what are the practices or best practices you need to have in place when you're doing is your co-sell product launches or solution launches. So Christine, are you ready? I have a few questions prepared for you. You are like the master at this work. So how do you really define what a perfect co-sell go-to-market strategy? What does it look like for you when you see it, when you work with it?
Well, I think it's interesting that as you go into different roles, the state of where the company is at is where really the state of your co-sell plan becomes. And in some stages, I call it in click steps, right? Your click step one is, do we have just a generic offer that we're going out to market with, which is really, even previously on the panel, somebody said to really differentiate, and that is so critical, but sometimes you're just not there yet, but you want to get out the gate. So I would say that's kind of click stop one. And then click stop two is really defining something unique that you do in the market together. It could be a certification. It could be something like a light integration that's differentiated amongst the different cloud providers. So it could be something with AWS that, you've done this integration with their edge technology, CloudFront and such. And then the one that I love the most, and I think because I have to say I got my MBA from Sun Microsystems on this, was really negotiating a contract, which is more like a strategic agreement between your company and the cloud provider to provide unique IP to deliver a product together to market. Now, that is very difficult. If you are product marketing or product management minded, you think about the product. If you are more alliance driven, you think about the loosely coupled solution. But these two really do go together when you are co-building and co-innovating together to bring a solution to market. One that I am there's two I'm really proud of. One was when I led the negotiations with Red Hat and SAP. It was the RHEL for SAP HANA solution. And that was the most trickiest thing that I've ever pulled off, because you had to do the port to the software, and then you had to go negotiate the contracts with each of the OEMs at the time, one being Amazon. So you had to deliver not just the co-build between SAP and Red Hat, you had to deliver that through AWS. So the thinking behind that was I had a quick study on what a product manager does, launching a product, as well as going and doing all the solution materials on the back end. So the one most recently was the Nginx for Azure bundle. And that was really working with the Azure development team to work with some of the developers with certain services that Azure had, and integrating that within the Nginx solution and making a unique Nginx Plus for customers who wanted to use that load balancing solution. So what we did was we brought together the product team and the alliance team, the marketing team, and everybody kind of got together and crafted what the entire build was going to look like, from the product launch all the way to the solution launch, all the way to the communication strategy, which is completely different. You have a communication strategy that goes out as the product. So you have the person who owns the product talking to analysts, but then you have the alliance team talking to what it means for partners in the extended ecosystem. That was very tricky, as you know. You partnered with me on that. I brought you into that fold with me. And it's chaotic. That's all I could say. And it's chaotic because there's so many moving parts. You have to have a strong project manager that kind of guides the way through. But the importance of that is, that's kind of the third leg of the stool that ClickStop 3 is, that it's so demonstrative in the market. It is just basically putting a hammer down and saying we are doing this together, and there's major investment from each player. And the best part of this was it was only transactable through Marketplace. So you could not buy the solution as an on-prem or deploy anywhere. It was between Microsoft and F5. And it was something that was delivered by those two and unique in the market, which was really cool.
So well said, Christine. I think that the strategic agreement with the joint product and how you communicate and how you do the launch are critical. I want everybody to know you personally, because you changed the trajectory for how the entrepreneurs get access to all the red carpet benefits. So this is the lady who made that happen. We got a community PDM from Microsoft. We got red carpet experience for women to have a transactable solution in 6 weeks, which used to take months. So you made it happen. So thank you for doing amazing stuff and guiding us of how to think for even a small company to be strategic. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you believe that the co-sell marketing plans, when companies are creating, include product launches as a core activation? And if yes, what are the kind of assets they have to create so that it feels like a joint launch with the hyperscaler?
I think that if you throw that idea out too soon, I think you might lose people. Like, for example, coming into the team now, if I were to say I have this bold idea and this is what it looks like, and I'm already on number 3 and they're barely on number 1, then not that I'm saying we're at number 1, but I'm just saying if you're that far apart, you're going to lose people right throughout the way. So you have to make the journey almost to the point where they're leading themselves. So part in this is to lead them down the path to believe that that we're going to be going to that place, even though we're not there yet, which is, it takes a while to get there. You have trust that you have to create with the partnership in general, that you can actually take that on. That is a heavy, like having an integrated solution means knee deep in the support, that you are knee deep in the life cycle management of that solution, right? It's just like a product. So you have to gauge where your company is and where your partnerships are to really understand how to get there. Does that make sense?
Well said. So well said. Are there any best practices for doing a successful product launch? And what are kind of the must do and don't do things in a successful product launch?
Oh God, educate along the way. I felt like at times I'm more internally creating buy-in and not even buy-in, but it's an understanding of the art of the possible. And I kept saying that, this is what is possible when you think this way. And we're so siloed in our organizations that we are, and by design, and it's not a bad thing. It just is. So what I find that helps is how you tell the story, how you shape this, how the organizations are working together, how marketplace becomes the central point of the platform. I call marketplace a product. It is a platform, and how do you build IP around that? And that is a new idea to a lot of people, because they see it as a transaction mechanism, and it is, but it's a very strategic one. And it is one how customers like to buy. They want to buy software fast and easy. So there's a lot of creativity. That's what the bold ideas. That's why I love, like, how can we figure this out? How can we do something really cool and new?
So true. I think, Christine, we should coin a word called as education-based marketing or education-based communication. That's what takes to really drive the adoption in the market. So since we are coming to the end of the session, any advice for all the women entrepreneurs to what they should be thinking about implementing co-sell marketing with hyperscalers? Any advice you have for them?
I think that when I do the plan for co-sell, it is always inclusive of marketplace, especially when you're working with the hyperscalers. I look at what are the motions, right? So your co-sell motion could be a opportunity, or it could be a co-sell motion could be through leads that come in. So are you looking at partner attach, where you're influencing and the partner is providing a lead? Are you looking at partner sourced from that partner attached? So, you have how you're going to co-sell, and then you look at how we're going to look at metrics, the what around that. And then I think that you just design, all your tools and operations kind of around that. That's kind of how I look at it first when I'm coming in. That's what we're doing right now in my current position.
That's fantastic, Christine. And you have been such an instrumental leader for helping women in cloud kind of take it to a next level for entrepreneurs. I know we are still at 2%. I would love to get to 10%, but making the marketplaces inclusive, the attestation, the community PDM, getting access to investments to make sure we get moving forward has been incredible. Again, thank you for being with us. This was stellar. So really happy to have you today. I know you've been very busy with some other sales meetings that you are on today. So, but thank you for doing this.
No, thank you for having me, Chai. And I hope this was helpful. And we will get to the 10%. I'm bullish. See, I think big. We're going to get to 15.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you, Christine. Okay, getting to the one. I want you all to take a moment to say, what were your takeaways and what's one action you'll take after hearing Christine?